Hytale has been really good already here in early access, right? I've been sinking a ton of time into this game. I picked up a community server. My community members seem to really love and enjoy the game. But with all that being said, even though it is so good, it's about to get a lot better starting tomorrow. So without further ado, let's dive in and talk about the most important things coming in patch 3.0. So starting us off with the first one, that brings us to taming, or what Simon is calling the basic taming mechanic, is going to be introduced here into Hytale. That's right, baby. The day has finally come for us to tame these friendly animals around the world, all right? So basically, it seems very simple here, cut and dry. You're going to be able to figure out what their favorite food is, place it in your hand, like on your hot bar, and then offer it to that animal as like you're feeding them. Then that animal will become loyal to you, will follow you, you'll be able to bring it back, build pins for it, all of that stuff, all right? With this being said, I know you're probably thinking, and what do we do if the animals are running away from us? Well, that mechanic has actually been changed inside of the game now here for the 3.0 patch, and animals will no longer run from you unless they are hit, right? Or there's some sort of, damage that they have taken, okay? So as long as you're not damaging the animals, they will not run away from you. You could find out what their favorite food is, walk up to them, feed them, and then boom, that is going to be how you can nail yourself some of these tameable creatures. Now, with that being said, the next mechanic that they're adding in here is going to be, what do these creatures provide, right? Now, it's one thing to tame them, but what can they do for us? Well, there's a handful of things. They talked about some of these animals can be milked, some of them can be sheared, some of them can even be mounted that you can then ride around, for faster travel across the world, which is absolutely awesome, dude. I cannot wait to have this mechanic added into the game. I love the farming, taming, system that you have from other games like Ark or even Minecraft, so it finally making its way here to early access for Hytale just gets me absolutely excited. You guys will have to let me know down below which animal you plan on taming first and why. Now, leading into the next big change, that brings us to sickles, all right? So sickles are officially going to be added into the game. These will be capable of harvesting multiple crops in a single swing. So absolute game changer here when it comes to farming inside of Hytale. If you guys have not checked out the farming mod, I highly recommend that you do. It adds a ton of different crops and, stuff that you can farm, tons of different dishes, a couple additional benches and everything for you guys to check out until they do add more to the farming mechanic. But nevertheless, the sickle is going to make a massive difference here when it comes to time it takes to harvest crops, because you can just harvest them now in multiples by just doing a single swing, which is absolutely awesome. And now on top of the farming stuff, they've also added some really cool mobility changes that I'm very excited about. That brings us to one, the sidestepping ability. So now you'll have the ability to sidestep back and forth if you're hanging on a cliff, which again, very, very nice. They already had like the mantling option, to hold or grab yourself and pull yourself up. Well, now you have the ability to go left and right while you are hanging. Again, very good. Another one they've got is dropping down, so you'll be able to be hanging and then drop down instead of only being able to go up. And then lastly, they've also talked about you'll be able to rotate fully around a rope. So if you happen to climb up a rope or place a rope for some sort of creative build, you'll now have the ability to go 360 all the way around the rope while you sit there and hang. Again, absolutely love all of these maneuvers here. I think it's just going to really open up the world when it comes to adventuring, and then also, like I said, the creative build aspect. And in addition to the mobility update, they're also going to be making some changes here to some weapons. All right, that's going to be short bows and crossbows. Both of these will now have the ability to use ammo directly from your backpack instead of having to have it specifically targeted or equipped. Now it's going to be able to pull it directly from your inventory, so no worries about that when it comes to ammo. Absolutely needed change. I love this. They made some adjustments to aiming spears to make it a little bit easier and more on point. The flamethrower got some VFX effects updated, and the weapon now attacks faster. And they made some additional changes to the Necromancy grimoire finally being added into the game here. Again, absolutely love all these things. I can't wait to jump in here and check out the short bow and the crossbow, along with the brand new flamethrower that was just added in recently. Next up, we've got a big feature that I love that is incoming for the game, and that is custom waypoints or markers on the map. I'm so excited that this has finally made its way to the game, because I do play on a community server with other people at all of the time. So again, it's really hard to kind of direct people where to go without using some sort of landmark, for instance. So it's going to be really nice. It's going to give us the ability to make a custom marker on the map, change the name, the icon, the color, and even share that with other people. And they also mention here some TLC or some updates or improvements to the compass system inside of the game. Again, very excited to jump in here and check that out when it does finally arrive tomorrow. And what would an update be if they did not drop some additional fresh cosmetics or ways to change up your character's cosmetics? And that brings us and introduces us to the wardrobe system being added into the game. It's going to give us the ability to store our outfits inside of the wardrobe, make changes to your outfits on the fly, you name it. Not only that, of course, they're going to be adding some new clothes and accessories to go along with it. They're also making some changes to the crafting and progression system in the game, where basically they're going to be changing the amount of time it takes to craft certain items, some of the requirements it takes to craft certain items across all of the different various workbenches, you name it here. Just again, kind of like ironing things out, polishing things out. So you might need to go back and check that recipe that you were working towards. You may or may not be able to craft it now with these brand new changes. And last but certainly not least, they've added a ton of fixes and tweaks and changes and stuff related to audio issues, modding issues, the modding UI. They've got map glitches, map issues, tools, crashes, notifications, server issues, weather. You name it. They have been on a roll when it comes to fixing a ton of stuff that the majority of players have been experiencing it, just to make it a smoother experience for everyone. And like I said at the beginning of the video here, this is honestly the patch or the update that I'm the most excited about here for Hytale. Just being in general a farmer, crafter, tamer, breeder, from like Ark Survival Ascended, that's kind of what my background is. It just makes me so excited that we're finally going to be able to get some tameable creatures inside of the game. That's probably what I'm most excited about. Everything else obviously is just a bonus, but anyways, as always, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are, man. Let me know down below in the comments, what are you guys most excited about coming in here with this 3.0 update? Also, if you guys are curious out there, you're subscribed to the channel, maybe you're a member or anything, if you want to join in on our community server, you can do so by joining the Discord first. You will find that link down below. I've got instructions on how to join in to the community server and everything you need to know in there. As always, guys, if you enjoy this content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on the channel for everything Hytale and survival games related, and I will see you guys on the next one.